have stuff on there, first of all, don't put anything that's distasteful. It's a great networking tool, by the way. We advertise on Facebook, I think, because it's just a way to reach, you know, the masses, the students that are there. But, you know, if you got party pictures or whatever on there, you better lock it. You know, either don't put it on there or lock it, because we don't want to ruin your career over, you know, the party time. So just keep that in mind. That's another. It's a small world. They can reach out and touch you wherever you are. Some trends in the 21st century that I want you to keep in mind, worth mentioning, is transition, as you transition from student to professional, is flexibility. You know, sometimes the classroom doesn't allow much in terms of flexibility, but that's what you have to have when you go on someone's job. You have to be flexible. The days of saying, okay, this is my job and I don't do this is over. Okay, businesses are looking, number one, for people they can promote. And you cannot be promoted if you are not flexible. And it's a benefit to you. If you are done with what you're doing, particularly interns, if you're done with what you're doing, your project, it is to your best advantage to ask questions, to find out if you can help someone else, rather than just twiddling your thumb and saying, well, I don't have anything to do. Well, there's a lot to do. It's a business, for God's sake. It's always something to do. So just think about it. Kind of look around, you know. You can find something to do. If you put your hands to it, if you assist someone in something, you can own that. That's another bullet on your resume. You assisted with, or you assisted in the management of, or you assisted in the coordination of. You see? So you're investing in your own stock. You know, and that's how you have to look at yourself. Entrepreneurship. It really, you're an organization in yourself. So you have to think of yourself as being the CEO of your own company. And that's you. So a healthy way to look at, you know, the fact that I'm the lowest on the totem pole, I don't have anything to do, it's boring, I don't see how this is going to help me. You know, you have to look at it like, I'm investing in my stock if I go and find something to do or put myself out there. You really are. Because you can own it. No one can take that away from you. You're going to create your resume, and you know you did that. So you can talk about it, and you can put it on your resume. So it's really an investment in yourself, and this is a good time. A positive attitude, nothing replaces positive attitude. Don't bring your problems to work. God knows you have problems. So take it to Him. Don't take it to work, okay? I'm not saying be very cold and don't build relationships, but be sensible about it. You know, I know a lot of people borrow money on jobs. You don't want to start doing that. It causes conflict and animosity. So have, you know, a little bit of sensitivity and good judgment when you, as you go through your internship. So that positive attitude is very important. If you're recommended for something, you want to look them in the eye and tell them thank you. You take it on the chin. Take it and go on to the next step. Don't let anything stop you. In the 21st century, you're going to see a lot of reduced workforce due to downsizing. Companies are downsizing. They are reducing workforce due to outsourcing. And why are they doing that? Well, because they can get part-time help. They don't have to pay benefits. They don't have to do any of those things. So there are a lot of attempt to hire people, attempt to permanent, you know, like Ronstadt and a lot of these other companies, Charles Foster, and a lot of good ones around. By the way, they are good resources for positions after school, after college too. A lot of students will take advantage of those companies so that they can get a variety of experience. Reduced workforce due to automation and robotization. And I told the other class about my wonderful brother-in-law, my husband's younger brother, who operates a toll booth. You guys know what a toll booth is? We've got two in South Carolina, you know. If you go to Clemson, you hit a toll booth. I didn't know that. But he works in toll booth. He works in toll booth up north, so that means you get better money, but you throw your money in there and he's the attendant. I mean, so he can support his family with that. But my husband always said, boy, you need to get a job. You need to go back to college, because somebody's going to tap you on the shoulder one day and tell you, we got a machine to do this. So you got to keep your eyes on automation, robotization, reduced workforce due to customization. You know, people are working at home. People have home businesses. You can work, you know, on the internet at home. They have child care, flex hours, all these things. Therefore, an increased need for continuing education. If at any point, remember I said the companies really want to hire people that they can promote, because they don't want to keep rehiring people. They really have to see that you have that entrepreneur spirit, that you have a positive attitude, that you're flexible, you know, willing to learn, eager to learn. And some of them even have tuition payment, repay. But at any point, you feel like you need to continue your education, do so. I always tell people that the master's degree is the fun part of the education. It's that undergraduate and doctorate's part that will kill you. So I'm in the process of completing my doctorate's degree, and that is nothing to play with. So I feel like I'm back in undergraduate. You know, you have to jump through hoops. You got to please this person and that person and the committee and who else is angry today. You know, you got to bounce straight to them. But the master's is the fun part. I mean, because whew, I'm out of undergraduates and I'm finally really doing something. Man, I can express myself in an area that I'm really interested in. So if you ever seek to, and then you're an adult. I mean, you get really treated like an adult. You know, it's like a breath of fresh air. So you want to go to graduate school, I say go. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. Are there requirements? Are there times when you're going to feel like, phew, so many papers, so many this? Yeah, sure. But you're doing some things that you're really interested in. You're doing those reports on some things that, you know, you're really interested in. So go.
That opens up your options. Like,
I'm sorry?
So that opens up your options. Like you got your bachelor's and your master's. So that's,
Yeah, it opens up your options. I mean, and you know what? Education, you know, it opens up a world of knowledge to you. So the more you have, if your heart is leading you to go on and on, do it. Because it certainly is a liberating experience. I was looking at a documentary on TV. I don't know what it was. I don't know whether it was Court TV or I think it was one of the news shows. But Baird College has a prison college in an extension of their university in prison. Did you see that? And so, although these people, some of them will not be released, although these people won't be released for years and years, they talk about how education has changed their minds. You know, it's changed their perspective on things. It's not, it's a process of development. You know, I feel like if people in prison can have that much of an appreciation for education, why shouldn't we?
I have one question.
Mm-hmm.
You ever had students come back to you and say, like, this worked out my graduate than my undergrad?
Repeat that again, sorry.
You ever had students came back to you and say that what they did in graduate school worked out for them than they did undergrad?
Worked out better for them?
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Like the decision they made, like they wanted to be this. They majored in this and then they majored this in grad school, so.
Different majors?
Yeah.
No, not necessarily. That's not to say that they're not out there. But the best part about a liberal arts education is that, you know, it gives you a variety. It gives you the basis to pursue a variety of things. But, you know, we can help students in the Career Center kind of decide on where. I was fortunate, you know, I was a non-traditional student, so, I mean, I kind of knew that I needed to finish my bachelor's in human resource development and then get my master's in human resource development. Not management, but development. Because I was more interested in teaching than the management aspect of it. Okay? So sometimes it takes you 4 years to really understand where, and I think a liberal arts university is the best place to be if you're not, haven't decided on what you want to do in graduate school. Okay? Increased diversity in the workplace. You can just look at the community and see the diversity there. People are changing, so we have to be able to interact with people. People who are going to med school, dental school, you're going to be dealing with the public in business. Man, you got to know how to deal with people. Do you know that you can literally have a 4.0 and not get into medical school these days? Why? Because you don't have a well-balanced background. It's just not enough these days to say my mama was a doctor, my daddy was a doctor, my aunt was a doctor, so I'm going to be a doctor. You have really got to be able to interact with people. Diverse population. So if you're not going to be able to work with a diverse population, then you're in trouble. So you've got to know that when you go into the workplace. You're going to see some things that you've never been around before. Globalization. Fewer corporations, more internet-based business, mentioned that. But globalization, we don't have to go to Europe to have a meeting in Europe. We can do telephone conferencing. We don't have to, there are all types of methods for communicating around the world. Flexible workplace, long-distance collaboration, talked about that, and an emphasis on skills development rather than job selection. We get hung up on title. What's my title going to be? So what's the title of this job? Well, really, when you put together your resume, under the company that you work with, they want to know what you did, skills. So what does this entitle? There are some companies in the Department of HR, some companies call a generalist a specialist. But in other companies, a specialist could be management level, entry-level management level. So really job title really doesn't have anything to do with it. You want to find out when you go in an interview what you're going to be responsible for. What does the job entail? Okay? So you have to be prepared. You have to be able to market yourself. You have to be able to document your personal goals and your accomplishment. So the first step is self-assessment. When you come to the Career Center, that's the first thing we want to do. Why? Why? Because you've got to know who you are. You've got to be able to articulate what your passion is. You've got to be able to do that. My mother used to tell me, if you don't know who you are, somebody out there will sure enough tell you. So you've got to know who you are. So we have assessment tools to walk you through that process so that you can articulate what your passion is. Myers-Briggs we administer on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 3 to 5 walk-ins. And then you set up a subsequent appointment with me for me to go over the results. And if you're also interested in doing the shorter version of the Myers-Briggs, you can go to humanmetrics.com and take a free Myers-Briggs, print out the results, and schedule an appointment with me so that I could go through. And so it's human, H-U-M-A-N, metrics, one word, metrics.com. We also have SIGI 3. How many of you have taken SIGI, know about it on the website? SIGI 3 it's now My CSU. You put your ID and PIN in My CSU, and SIGI, I think you click on students, and SIGI 3 is there for you. It is